Because I have a court order. I have a court order, you have released yourself. I have a court order. Anybody who disagrees with this order of court, go to appeal court. That's what you tell me all the time. You have come to official. You cannot preside over this case number again. Not in this life. You cannot. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. A woman here cannot force this court to preside on my case. You cannot. Not today, not till forever. You are recused and you stand recused. Tell the chief judge, Nnamdi Kanu said, go on appeal. I recused him from my case. The state recused Justice Adema from my case. I did not insist Adema must hear my case. I never insisted. So why must you insist to hear my case? I don't want you in my case. I don't need you in my case. You are biased. You are biased. You cannot be in my case. A woman should do the right thing. A chairman of the board of Pentas Constitution is impropriety. Nowhere in the world such nonsense stop. You cannot be hobnobbing with lawyers, hobnobbing with justices, and you're proceeding a case. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful. Shameful. This is not a court of law. This is a shrine to injustice. And I will not subject myself to it. You stand recused and you must leave my case. You cannot try me. This man is not paying attention. There is an order of recusal. And he's a senior advocate, for goodness sake. There's an order of recusal. Is that not the rule of law? The law says if you disagree with this, you go on appeal. You are a grown-up man. Because of 300 million, you're behaving like a child. Go on appeal. Because of money. Because of money they're paying you from ATM office, you are here standing and smoking evil. Because of money. A grown-up man like you say you are going to behave like a man of honor. The rule of law says you go on appeal. His Lordship Peter, you will not try my case. Not on this planet Earth, I'm telling you that now. So stop wasting your time. Of course, an order of law says Justice Peter Nyako is recused. An order of court. Order she made as an order. The same Chief Justice writing the stupid memo he's writing. I recused him. He was Pontus official. He sat on appeal. I took him to NJC. I recused him. Why did he not say I must sit on your case? Why in the case of his Lordship is he insisting? He wants to embarrass her. He wants to embarrass your Lordship by asking her to come and sit on this case. Is that what you're saying? There's an order of, give it to him. He doesn't have it. Give him an order of court. It's an order of court. Give it to him. He doesn't have it. And order, give it. He doesn't have it. It's an order of court. If you have no respect for yourself, I will insult you. Because people are telling the law. When it comes to Nnamdi Kanu, you turn the law upside down. The law says one thing. If the law says this paper is white, when I go to court, they say it's black. When I say it's black, they say it's white. Is that law? I'm asking you, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is that law? Is the memo from Chief Judge, is memo from Chief Judge sufficient to set aside a court order? The answer is no. Why do you want to change the law in my own case? His Lordship, Justice Nyako, stand recused in my case. Cannot try me. Why don't you get it? Give me your definite get for trial so you can do your mathematics you always do. People without shame. I have here before me for the benefit of Chief Awomono because it seems he doesn't know the law. So I will tell him. This is national judicial policy of this country. Please give them a copy each. National judicial policy of Nigeria. National judicial policy. I will tell you what it says. Because you don't know, I will tell you. Talking about memo from the Chief Judge of the High Court. Judicial policy of Nigeria. 1C. I'm reading. Robert. In the performance of judicial functions, the judge is subject only to the law and must only consider the law. The rule of law in every common law jurisdiction in the world is that once an order of court is entered, the only way to set aside is by going on appeal. That's the rule of law. So the senior advocate, you don't know. I will go to see. A judge must not take or attempt to take orders or instructions of any kind from anyone, including the chief judge, from anybody that may influence his decisions in the performance of judicial function. It means that his Lordship, having entered an order of court, a decision to myself.
Yes, of course, it's going to be a free man indeed. That's the expectation of everybody around the world, considering the fact that the Nigerian government has not been able to establish any case against him. Forget that they moved from treason felony to treason. I think they have been moving up and down in that regard. And the same thing is applicable to, of course, Simon Ekpa. I can tell you categorically clearly now that this pressure on Finland to determine the position of Simon Ekpa, considering the support, that is coming in from that, Western world, like Russia. A lot of people are mounting pressure around Alexander Stubb now to see what they are going to do in the aspect of liberating or freeing freedom government, people who are agitating for their sovereignty, which is really the world is trying to look into that, and so much attention has been attracted to what is happening to Nnamdi Kanu, or what is happening in Nigeria is regarding Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu has become, they have factored Nigeria into Nnamdi Kanu, and every other thing is going towards that direction. If you look at how Nigeria got to the level where he is, this Nnamdi Kanu just started this agitation, this movement from just a plastic chair and a plastic table. That is all. If you look at the beginning of the whole thing, you discover that there's a lot of strength and divinity into what is happening. His appearance in the court today, I can tell you how many judges and how many times Nnamdi Kanu has appeared in court. And you can find out for yourself that at every point in time, he has always won every charge against him. The problem where everybody is looking at that attracted US delegates, up to 20 of them, the news is everywhere. The world is not joking. Nnamdi Kanu has built, carved an image for himself, has built an image for himself to the extent that he has become recognized. I think there's no other freedom fighter agitator in the world you can talk about now, currently now, that have made the requirement of the United Nations, that have shown resilience, they have shown confidence, they have shown integrity, they have shown that Biafra is achievable, that Biafra is passionate, Biafra has become a religion. He's so committed to it, and he's attracting a lot of followers. Nigerians, are beginning to buy into the concept of what the symbol of Nnamdi Kanu is trying to portray. Even in the midst of uncertainty and danger, Nnamdi Kanu still summoned the courage to confront the Nigerian system over illegality. He said there's nobody that can judge him, there's no judge that can judge him. And saying that also, you can see all manner of judges that have been able to hear the matter, or try to engage themselves in the trial, or even trying to run a certain persecution or the other. They have all come to a particular point where they said nobody, they have seen this case as Nnamdi Kanu has always had an upper hand in that regard. So what you are seeing that is building at this moment now is a clear desire that the Biafran recognition has enveloped Nigeria completely. And how did it envelop Nigeria? What we saw Omotosho is going to do by tomorrow, or is doing now, currently now, has already been taken care of. And I can tell you, it has attracted the sympathy. You see, there's a way you maltreat people, there's a way you bring down people to an extent that, it will begin to attract sympathy globally. Nnamdi Kanu is already attracting a global sympathy now.
Okay, now we understand that Nnamdi Kanu himself has said that he is not going to stand trial until there's an impartial judge to adjudicate the case he's having with federal government. You just mentioned it briefly that some American lawyers and soldiers are in Nigeria, perhaps ultimately to witness the proceeding. What do you think would have attracted them?
The fact is that there has been a global solidarity for Biafra recognition. You can see what is happening in Ireland. The IPOB is represented in all states of the federation, about 88 countries in the world, and Igbos are there. So the gathering and the network is being put before the U.S. administration, of course, Donald Trump, who a lot of people believe that most of his cabinet members who are congressmen are actually pro-Biafran. And on that regard, he has also, to an extent, enjoyed unlimited relationship, with the first time Donald Trump came in as as president. We saw GOP members surrounding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has played that support and of recognition to the issue of Biafra globally, and that is what the likes of Simon Ekpa, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, they are trying to follow that legacy. So at this point now, it's also on the table at the Oval Office under Donald Trump. So most of the lobbyists now are saying, no, let them come and have a first-hand, access of and be able to tell the story how these things are being going. And already the British, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have signaled that he's going to also make sure that delegates arrive, Israeli delegates arrive at Abuja, against today's happenings, and we might not know them, we might not see them. Those I can see that federal government are saying that there are strange forces, there are strange faces, and there might be international spy, or they may represent international interest and all that. But they are no matter what they say, and specifically they made it very clearly they are coming to observe how this thing has come to a point that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being detained illegally without judgment. He's been detained illegally without pronouncement of any form of guilt or the other. Nnamdi Kanu has gone through the court processes and still they felt they are not going to receive him. It's going to be a clash, and already the Nigeria Bar Association and the African ECOWAS and the AU and other women blocs within the context of the African continent has already put J.Omotosho, the judge, on the radar currently now. They are watching him how he's going to make his pronouncement on tomorrow, or what he's going to do. Because if he's going to be hearing, there's not going to be trial. It's after hearing, then trial, whatever that's going to come at the end of the day. So, but he's not be able to ignite the woto that is going to come from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if he try to take the other way. Other judges, have taken in the past. There will be massive resistance, and that is what prompted the American government to send those delegates we are seeing today.
Because as it stands, we have seen the UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention before now asking the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, and that didn't happen until we saw Court of Appeal in Nigeria ruling that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. As such, he should be released unconditionally. But let me ask this question: are you satisfied with the level of intervention of UN?
No, not quite well. There has been clashes in that regard, but it's not something that is on the public glare or that should be put in the public space. The US government and the UK government are already interacting on the negotiations of what is going to happen when Nnamdi Kanu is being released, how the whole thing is going to look like, and they are fine-tuning that, analyzing that, will Nnamdi Kanu be flown abroad for medical treatment? After that, then what is the scope of recognition of the Biafra as a sovereignty? Nnamdi Kanu has already gotten Biafra, because he has gone through the process of United Nations, required by United Nations, and he has gone through that process, and he has able to maintain certain, pressure, attracting glory to himself and the Biafran quest. So whether United Nations comes in at this point or not, it depends on how the United Nations leadership perceive it. But what is important at this point is that the top countries of the world currently now, talking about America, talking about Russia, talking about Israel, talking about Germany, I'm excluding France because of the fractured relationship within the Sahel nation currently now. France might not be part of it. You can see the Russian pilot, what he said during the 1967 Nigeria Biafra War, what the ingenuity, why the world started to bring the Igbo movement called Biafra at that time down. And from that angle now, you begin to understand the build-up of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has successfully been able to do. Thank God the world has recognized his presence, and the United Nations, the US too have also recognized his presence. Donald Trump has also recognized his presence. And I think you can see the kind of, interactive and pressure and the situation that is coming from the United States government trying to focus on Africa, singling Nigeria completely out from other nations, and the issue of Boko Haram is a factor to disintegrate Nigeria. And that's what Nnamdi Kanu stands for. His trial, we're saying today, is going to bring liberation for the oppressed.
Soludo knows very well that Biafra has been redeclared, and we have given the Southeast governors and 40 state governors, 60 days ultimatum to leave the Southeast. And they know, because we have a legal document to back our declaration up. So again, Biafrans, good evening, good afternoon, good night to all of you, depending your time zone and where you are watching and hearing me from this very wonderful morning or evening, should I say. I just want to show you or play a sound of one of the delegitimized governors of the Southeast, which is Soludo, telling Ruben Abati that they should release Nnamdi Kanu to him as the God of Biafrans. I want you people to listen to the nonsense he said, and then I will break it.
You do well to touch a hand for subscribe button, like and spread this message, and don't forget to touch a hand for notification bell. So whenever we upload a new video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Yes, let's go in there and watch over. And don't forget that an injustice for one is an injustice for all. Always condemn if you don't condone it. Yeah, because only the truth, the world shall know peace. Let's go in there and watch the video. Don't skip any part of the video, because it will surprise you, it will shock you. It's a mind blowing. Let's go in there and watch it unfold. Yes, don't touch the die. Let's watch it.
To Biafrans, just listen.
Issued quick notice to the Igbos. I was the chairman of the Planning and Strategy Committee of Ohanes and Igbo worldwide.
Okay.
We took a census of Igbos in the north, and guess what? We came to the just some estimate of about 11.7 million Igbos in the north alone. If you have a disorderly dismemberment of this country, what a chaos for this tiny place, and so on. There are other visions for the Southeast. Why couldn't you make it a livable and prosperous homeland? Why couldn't you create new prosperity? Why do we keep blaming? So let us come together. We can turn this place to be anything we want it to become. So there are alternative viewpoints. I'd like him to be part of that conversation. And I want him, the legal process, if the courts have asked for him to be released, let him be released and him over.
Let him be released and be handed over to him as the God of the Southeast. You see, Soludo is taking too much that he can chew. These are delegitimized governor of the Southeast telling the Nigerian terrorist government to release Nnamdi Kanu to him as the God of the Southeast. You can see how these people is trying to please their paymasters, because Soludo knows that election is coming in this December, practically around December, and that is the reason why they have sent Ruben Abati. And I didn't see Ruben Abati asking him, Mr. Charles Soludo, since the removal of Simon Ekpa, who has been causing the killings that we are seeing in the Southeast? Southeast has been a killing field. You can see that they are trying to play a game that you and I knows already. Let me continue to play the video so you will listen and understand where I'm coming from.
Let's have a sit down and interrogate the different views. But a whole lot of this Simon Ekpa and some of this band of criminals.
Now this is where they are trying to delegitimize the declaration of the United States of Biafra. Now he's calling Simon Ekpa, one of his own, one of his brothers, band of criminals. So what he's trying to do is to tell the Fulanese that there is nothing like Biafra. Biafra was never declared. That's whatever Simon Ekpa is doing it on his own. And Soludo knows very well that Biafra has been redeclared, and we have given the Southeast governors and 40 state governors, I mean to say, 60 days ultimatum to leave the Southeast. And they know because we have a legal document to back our declaration up. So the reason why Ruben Abati came here to interrogate or to interview Soludo is not even for the betterment of the Southeast. Is to make sure that he spill it out the way it is to the world, that there is nothing like redeclaration of Biafra. There is nobody that we recognize as Simon Ekpa. This Soludo. Simon Ekpa is Igbo. Soludo is an Igbo man. So let us continue to listen, and you will hear what you have never heard. Igbo people are terrible.
And turn the thing into a killing spree.
Now, Simon Ekpa has turned the Southeast as a killing spree. That is the words of Chalinwambwa, Soludo, the delegitimized governor of Anambra State. That's Simon Ekpa that is protecting his own brothers and sisters, his family, every Biafrans is now the killing machine. So that you will understand where we are coming from. That these people means no good for the Ndibo. These are animals. So the reason why Ruben Abati left where his comfort zone and came to the Southeast, I don't know where they had this meeting anyways, and came to the Southeast, if he's in the Southeast, to ask him about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And I want to tell Biafrans that Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer in any court in the world. No case to answer in Nigeria. So all these their shenanigans we have known. We know that they cannot release Nnamdi Kanu. The only way to release Nnamdi Kanu is by the barrels of the gun. That is how Nnamdi Kanu will be free. They can never free Nnamdi Kanu. Believe you me. We're not joking here. Listen. And you will listen to this animal, what he said about his own brother. Other people will come and, sugarcoat things. But this one is telling you that we will, if need be, we will bring Simon Ekpa down. We will kill him. So that he can become the next governor of that same state in the next coming election. Listen.
Just kill people with reckless abandon. And some of us are just not it. So, release of Nnamdi Kanu for me is different from the issue of security.
Now, releasing of Nnamdi Kanu to him, Soludo, as the god of Biafra, is a very big issue of security for him. As in, he is now the god of Biafra, or rather the god of Nnamdi Kanu. He is now the Okulora of Nnamdi Kanu. And you can see how shameless these old fools here are. They're not even interested of the people that was killed in December till this very moment that we are. A young girl was killed in her house yesterday while she was sewing clothes. And they didn't ask this question. People were massacred during that December till January. February, it became worse. In this March, because Donald Trump has spoken about some things and they are now, trying to manage the situation. Can you see how corrupt your country is? Listen, continue to listen to your governor, your delegitimized governor.
I separate the two. I don't link the two. Nnamdi Kanu for me is for us to have this conversation about the long-term future of Igbos, and that's a different conversation. For the criminals who are kidnappers, we've given them olive branch. Come out, we train you, we empower you, we rehabilitate you. If you...
The criminals he's talking about, just in case you don't know, are the Biafran Liberation Army. The criminal, these animals, these terrorists, Soludo, that is working for the Fulanis, he's talking about, is the Biafran Liberation Army. That is who is calling criminal. Those are the people he's calling criminal. His own brothers, to please the Northerners. That is why Soludo is calling his own brothers criminal. And now saying that, man, look, you will hear him. That man, Simon Ekpa is a criminal. That they are collecting money from people to enrich themselves. These are the narrative that they push out there for the Ndiberisms. Continue to listen. He's an Igbo man.
That will take you out.
So, Mr. Ekpa, I take it then that you also make a distinction between the courts that Nnamdi Kanu was pursuing and the one that Simon Ekpa is pursuing.
I don't know what Simon Ekpa is pursuing. I have no idea what it is about, because I have no idea if he's pursuing any cause other than swindle people for money.
Is shying away from the reality on ground. They came, the reason why this Arise television is here is to reaffirm to the world that there was nothing like Biafra